Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to LinkedIn Tuesday. It's September 16th, 2025. Please note this event is being recorded. The recording will be on the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. For everybody who's on Zoom, please feel free to put in your contact information. Put your name, the job you're looking for, companies that you need help with. Put in your LinkedIn address, put in your email address, connect with everybody else who's on the call. This is a great way to expand your connections. And this is what LinkedIn is all about. So feel free to do that while we're presenting today. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Back in 2008, I started careerdfw.org, the website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched careerusa.org to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon. If you see me in person, I have copies. I've led the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group since 2007. The group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when the prior leader landed a job. And I'll tell you about our upcoming program this Friday at the end of this session. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team. Remember, don't wait until you have an interview to practice interviewing. Practice early, practice often. Just go to dallaspitcrew.com for more information. Well, normally we have 4 speakers who rotate through on a monthly basis to talk about LinkedIn, but this month we happen to have 5 Tuesdays. So to fill in for the 5th, I'm going to be presenting LinkedIn Presents Yourself Like a Pro. So give me a second to switch presentations around. Let's see here. I think I covered most everything. I wasn't invited to go to the White House. They had a forum for job clubs and career ministries, and back in 2012, I don't think that the organization exists in government anymore, but there were 110 people from all over the United States doing what I do and helping job seekers. And it really was a very fascinating presentation. Let's get through these. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the different types of recruiters. I think it's really important that you know that when a recruiter calls you, you need to know what type of recruiter they are because it'll make a big difference. So the first type of recruiter we're going to talk about is an in-house recruiter. So that could be somebody like from AT&T. They could be handling 30 to 40 to 50 jobs at a time. Usually one person is just hiring like in-house people. Somebody else is hiring technicians. Somebody else is hiring people to work at the company, not in retail locations. So they're usually going to be very busy because they're handling so many different job openings at a time. They probably rely on the applicant tracking system. So that's why it's very important when you fill out an application online that you fill it out with a lot of detail, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. The second type of recruiter we're going to talk about is an outside contingency recruiting firm. You probably get a lot of phone calls from these types of people because they're trying to fill a job that they found online, or they may have gotten a phone call from the company. There's usually 3 to 5 different companies that are doing this at the same time. So don't be surprised if you hear about the same exact job from 2 or 3 or 4 recruiters. This is why it's important for you to know who you're dealing with and what they do. Only the firm that makes the placement gets paid. So they work very quickly. They're very short. They're very short with you on the phone. They are looking for the exact fit, trying to make that placement to get the ticket paid. The third type of recruiter is an outside retained search consultant. Usually only one firm is hired to fill a role. So this person knows the company really well, knows what they're looking for, and he'll get paid an upfront fee and then the balance upon placement. Will always have a very good relationship with the employer. So it's important that if if an outside retained search consultant contacts you, find out if that's who they are, they're going to have a good relationship with the boss and they'll help you land that job. Okay, LinkedIn in general. What we're going to talk about today is the tip of the iceberg. If we had weeks and weeks and weeks, we could talk about LinkedIn a lot more. LinkedIn is always changing. That's why I don't show a lot of screen shots, because what was current yesterday may not be current today. So first thing we do is LinkedIn goals. Why are you setting up your profile? You're doing this to be found. You're issuing a welcoming profile for recruiters. And you want that profile to be easy to read. We'll talk more about that in the future. We want to make sure you have a good picture on LinkedIn. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. We want to know what your background is and possibly a little bit of personal information. I once knew somebody, and on his resume, the very last line of his resume, he said, "In search of the perfect hamburger." He said he used to get more phone calls from that line, not about a job, but they just wanted to talk about, where did you find the perfect hamburger at? So you never know what's going to catch somebody's attention. You want to make sure you optimize your profile so the LinkedIn search engine can find you. There are certain things that are more important than others, and we'll talk about that as we go through the process. LinkedIn calculates your score on a daily basis. It's based on contact and activity. Were you on LinkedIn today? Did you like some post? Did you comment on anybody's post? Did you post something for other people to read? You cannot see your score. LinkedIn will not divulge how they feature anything, but there has been a company in Europe that's analyzed taking their profile. They do this, they measure it, then they do that, and they measure it, and they've come up with what fields are more relevant than other fields. So what the search engine is looking for, you really have to think about LinkedIn just like an applicant tracking system. What the search engine is looking for is mutual interest between the recruiter and the candidate. Are you likely to respond? You should always respond to every recruiter on LinkedIn. Even if you're not interested, or if you don't trust them, you can say, "Thanks, but I'm not interested." Because by doing that, you've told LinkedIn that you will respond. One of the numbers I've heard about LinkedIn is only about 9 to 10% of people respond to a LinkedIn email. So that's very low. So if you respond, you will boost your point score as that happens. You want to know if you're connected to any employees in the company. This is something recruiters can see. If you follow the company on LinkedIn, very important, because that will help boost your rating. And do you have the open to work banner on? And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. How relevant is your job being searched? These are the two most important things on LinkedIn: the job title and key skills. A recruiter who's paying for LinkedIn, you're talking $10,000 a year if they're buying the full-blown recruiting package. What are they going to put in? They're going to put in a job title and 2 to 3 or 4 skills that they're specifically looking for. So that's why it's so important to have your job titles on LinkedIn and to have your key skills listed, because those make you stand out. So LinkedIn used to really push this. They don't push it as much anymore, but if your profile is not mostly complete, they will help you become an all-star. You have to have a current position. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You have to have a location. And if you take a location, you don't want to put down Dallas, Texas. You're better off putting the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Any Metroplex for any major city that you watch that you can is more relevant than just the local city. What industry you are in, you currently cannot change the industry. Once you've locked it in, you're locked in. Supposedly they're going to allow you to change it, but that hasn't happened yet. You do want your summary statement or your about statement to be really complete, and we'll talk about that. You have to have at least 5 skills. You can now have up to 100 skills, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. You need to list an education, and even if you haven't completed your degree, you can put down where you studied at, and like you had 72 hours, and list that just because you want to list an education spot. And then you have to have a headshot, and it's got to be a good headshot. But nowadays with cell phones, you can take some really nice pictures. So maximizing titles. You want to make sure that you use the LinkedIn titles that they have standardized. They've got several hundred job titles. You need to pick one of those because when a recruiter's typing in project manager or something, they just pick the default title that pops up on LinkedIn. So you'll see that in the open to work section. You can pick up to 5 job titles in that section, but on your resume, so if like you're a chief people person, that's not a LinkedIn recognized job title. You're going to be, what you'd want to do is in parentheses after the job title, add, director of personnel, director of, recruiting or whatever. Use one of the job titles that's in LinkedIn. You want to have multiple job titles in your headline. I think you should have 3, 4 maximum. And you want your open to work banner to be on. And here's why. Less than half the recruiters pay for the recruiting package. You're talking $5,000 to $10,000 a year for those packages. A lot of recruiters, 50% of recruiters don't pay, and they're using the free version just like you and me. So if you don't have that open to work banner on, you're not going to show those people that you're open to work. So that's why I think it's really important to have that. And then be sure to add additional titles in the experience section. Just because you were a project manager and that was your official job title, in parentheses, put down what you did. So somebody, a keyword will help find you. So here's a little generator that somebody came up with. I thought it's nice. I like starting job titles with an adjective: accomplished, award-winning, energetic, flexible. Then add a couple job titles, and then what you bring to what value do you bring? What extra can you tell somebody you do? So an example here is a dynamic program manager driving brand awareness through integrated marketing. You've told somebody what you do and how you do it. So here's my banner that I want to show you. I put down accomplished, so that's my action word. Manufacturing manager, operation, or general manager. Then I put a little saying, I do things better, faster, and smarter. And then I'm a speaker at career workshops, seminars, and national conventions. So it tells somebody who I am. Also, that second arrow that's pointing down at the top, that's the verified button. If your profile is not verified, I encourage you to do that. If you get a call from a recruiter and you don't see that their profile, if you look them up, is verified, I would be skeptical who that person is. So you have to either submit your driver's license or a passport. You take a picture of it. And I think you have to do it on a phone because you're actually taking a picture. You can't do it if you're on a desktop. computer. But I would recommend everybody get your profile verified. Okay, here's somebody, if you have a hard to pronounce name, I love what this person did. Let me go, I'm going to switch over to her profile here, just a second. So you can see her profile here, and she's got this little speaker button here. When you click on it,
Nicole Bonanno.
so it allows you to,
Nicole Bonanno.
so if you have an unusual name, or you can put down, you know, Nicole Bonanno Global Talent Management or manager or something like that. So I just want to, you know, want to share that if you've got a name. You can only add that voice using your cell phone. You cannot do that on a desktop. Here's somebody else, and I really like what this person did. This person went and spelled out his last name, Urrutia. You know, you want to make it easy for somebody to pick up the phone and call you and not go, well, I'm not really sure how to call you. I don't know really what your last name is. Make it easy. And I recommend that you also do this on your resume. When you submit your resume, make it easy for somebody to know how to pronounce your name. All right, let's talk about your picture on LinkedIn. Very, very important. So these are all pictures I pulled off of LinkedIn. This person, nice close facial shot, but the problem is it's washed out and it's got all this clutter in the background. Here's somebody on vacation. This is probably a good picture to put on Facebook, but this really isn't a picture for your resume or for LinkedIn. This person is a CEO of a company, and the reason I don't like this is just too far away. I want to see somebody from shoulders up, because personally, if you send me an email and I don't know who you are, I look you up on LinkedIn. I'm good with remembering faces, but names and faces just don't click for me. So I use this as a reference point. So to me, this is just too far away. This is Gail. Is it him Gail or her Gail? How do you know? You won't know that. When you put a picture up there, put your picture up there, because that's what we want to see. So here's somebody who put the open work banner on there, but obviously he must be on a chess outdoor park here. His face is too far away. I really can't see who he is. This is a good headshot, but it's in black and white. Some people, I personally don't mind a black and white shot. I think this is a professional headshot that he has. I'm okay with the black and white shot. But the problem I have with this photo is, think about it. When you're on LinkedIn, your photo is in the upper left corner. So what is he doing? His shoulders are pointing off the screen. So if you're going to put your photo on there, and I'll show you in just a second. So here's another one, nice close headshot. You know, she made sure that the open to work didn't cover her face up, which was great. And this to me is the best photo of them all, because it's good photo. He's smiling, he's looking directly at the camera, and his shoulders are pointing in to where the video is going to be. So if you think about your profile, you don't want your photo pointing, you know, pushing you off screen. It's a little pet peeve of mine. I've been to national conventions, and they'll have right next to my booth where I'm talking about LinkedIn and everything, they'll be giving away free photos for people, but they always put the photos the wrong way. And I go up to them every time and I tell them, what you're doing is you're putting the photo wrong, because they're going to be facing away and not into their LinkedIn profile. And they go, oh, I never thought about that. Okay, connections, very important. You need to have over 500 connections. Having 501 is the same as having 10,000 connections. Okay, I've got over 4,000. you want to get over 500 because it just shows 500 plus. Back in the day when I first got on LinkedIn, it would show you how many connections that somebody has, and it was raced. Some people were just trying to connect with as many people as they could to have the biggest, 13,000, 25,000 people connected with them. So they changed that, thank goodness, just to say 500. So 501 gets you to 500 plus, and you're in great shape. Most of the people you connect with should be in a similar industry or a job function, because that's what your search goals are. You're trying to find other people who do what you want to do, and this will help you promote yourself and possibly get some connections to help you in a company. You want to have recruiters in a targeted company. So you want to go, if you want a job at AT&T, you want to go to you want to do a job search for people, AT&T and recruiter, so that you can find those recruiters that you can possibly connect with. A lot of them won't connect with you, but it can't hurt to connect with as many as you can, because you never know who's going to be able to help you. And then you want to add people with job titles that could denote a hiring manager status in target companies. So if you're a project manager and you're trying to, find a director of projects, search those job titles out and connect with those people if you can, because you never know who's going to help you. All right, this is another big pet peeve of mine. You want to optimize your contact information. Only people that are first degree connections can see this information in this white box. Okay, that's my personal connection, my email, my phone number. If anybody wants to reach out to me, they'll see me, but only first degree connections. That's why it's so very, very, very important that you put your contact information in the About section, because everybody can see the About section. In my profile, I've actually put my phone number and my email address on my banner headline. So people don't even, as soon as they call me up, they'll see how to reach out to me. Okay, make it easy. Listen, recruiters have a very short attention span. Their goal is, number one, if they find you, they want to pick up the phone and call you. That's the first thing they want to do. The second thing they'll do, if you don't have a phone number on there, is they will send you an email if you put your email address on there. And the last thing they want to do is send you an in-mail, because only about 9% people respond to LinkedIn in-mails. So you can make your own banner, and please have something interesting about what it is you do. I have a word cloud. This is a word cloud that I fed my resume into it, and these were the things that came out and told people, this is what I do. You can get there's a free program out there called canva.com, canva.com. You do have to sign in, and you do have to log in, but there's a free version and a paid version. The free version, both versions, will allow you to just type in LinkedIn banner, and it'll come up with the right format. And then you can pick over on the left-hand side, background shots that you want to put on there and stuff. But do put something that tells people who you are and what you do, because it's much more inviting to see this than just a plain background. Okay, your About section, very, very important. To me, this is the second most important spot. The first most important spot, as I mentioned earlier, is your headline, right underneath your picture, where you list what you do and tell people what it is how you can help them. In this section, you can have up to 2,600 characters. This is the biggest section on LinkedIn. You want to have it written in first person. Very, very important, because you want to make it very friendly and open for somebody to read it. You want to have the paragraphs no more than 3 lines. Some say 4, but personally, if I can keep it down to 3, that's to me a key, because too much text and people are not going to read it. They're just going to scan real quick and may not get it. If it's only a couple lines, people tend to read it. So keep your about to 3 lines. Always add contact information. We have one of our 4 presenters likes the phone number and email address to be on the very top line, because if people haven't opened up your about section, they'll see the top 3 lines of your about section. Personally, I like mine at the bottom, and to me, it's always a call to action. How can I help you? Let's get connected. Please feel free to reach out to me. How can I help your company to succeed? Put some kind of motivating statement on there, and then list your email address and your phone number. If you do not want your phone number on LinkedIn, I fully understand. A lot of women don't, but you can get a Google Voice number for free. Now, I think they're out of 972s, 214s, and 469s, but last time I looked, you had to have a 682 number. But you can get a free Google Voice number, and when the call comes into that, you just have it forward to your cell phone. So that way you're not giving away your cell phone. And lastly, add keywords to the bottom of your profile. So here at the bottom, you see I've added like 50 or 60 keywords of things that people would search for if they're looking for a general manager or production manager. I list that on there. And right above and in between the 2 red boxes, I actually list my top 5 strengths on Strength Finders. Some people know what Strength Finders is, some don't, but I use the words in Strength Finders to answer what it is I can do to help a company. All right, maximizing your skills. You want to use keywords pertaining to your job search in the About section and the Experience section. One of the best things I think LinkedIn did recently is they allowed you to put keywords in with each company posting that you have. Instead of having all the skills at the bottom of your profile, you can have some. And I would have 5 to 8 skills for every job listing, every job posting that you have. Some of the top skills that people are looking for in 2005 for soft skills are looking for communication, problem solving, adaptability, creativity, emotional intelligence, teamwork. For hard skills, are looking for data analysts, digital marketing, project management, technology use, monitoring, control. You can just Google what are the top skills employers are looking for on resumes in 2005. Just Google it, and whatever they come up with, those are things you want to add and make sure they're showing up on your profile, because this is what recruiters are looking for. All right, the skills and endorsement section. They allow a maximum of 100 skills. It used to be 50. I recommend that you have 90 to 95. You don't have to use all 100, because you may see a good skill and want to add another one and go, oh, I have to go delete something first. A maximum of 2 skills are showcased on the profile. So as somebody is just scanning down your profile, they're going to see 2 of them. So you want to make sure that those 2 are the most that show who you are. So you can edit those and you can move those skills around. So pick the top 2 skills and make sure those are open. Personally, I have never opened up somebody's skills section to see what's there if I wasn't on if I wasn't doing LinkedIn. So to me, the 2 that show up are important. Your skills should include both technical and soft skills if you're in management. You should alphabetize them for easier reading. So once again, as you can sort them out, put them in alphabetized order, because if somebody does open up your section and look at your skills, it'll be easier for them to read, if they know they're all in one order. LinkedIn categorizes your scores into sections, and you cannot move them from one section to another. So you're sort of stuck there, but it's okay. Just alphabetize them, make it easy to do. And then you want to have 3 current recommendations, because LinkedIn has changed, allowing 3 profile or 3 little sections to come up to show 3 recommendations. You want them from 2023, 2024, 2025. I've seen profiles that list, a recommendation from 2014. That means nothing to me, because that was 10, 12 years ago. That was a long time ago. So you want current profiles, if current recommendations. If you don't have them, ask. If you've the last job you had, you should ask the manager who reviewed you, hey, you wrote this for me. Would you put this on LinkedIn? I would appreciate it. And you can do that kind of stuff. Personally, I only put recommendations on people's profiles that have worked for me in the past. I just don't do arbitrary ones. I know that happens in certain people will go and do that. One LinkedIn setting you want to be careful about, and I think you should adjust, is share job changes, education, and work anniversaries from profile. When you're editing your profile and adding stuff, turn this off, because if you turn it, if it's on, every time you post something new, it's going to go to all of your first degree connections. So you probably don't want to bug them 15 times as you go posting this and this and this and this. It's just too much to do. So turn it off, and then when your profile is all complete, you can turn it back on. This is another pet peeve of mine. If I was a king of LinkedIn, I would change this. Always send a personal note. I get frequently, before LinkedIn changed how many personal notes you can get, people just used to send a profile or just send I'd like to join your network. And I didn't know why the people were connecting with me. I had no idea. If you send me a personal note, I will connect with you, because you've taken the time to tell me who you are and what you do. If you want to send a personal note, if you're on a PC or desktop computer, you want to look for the blue connect button. A lot of places there will be a white connect button. If you click on the white connect button, it will automatically send a generic invitation. So what you should do is, when you see that white connect button, click on the person's face, and then their profile will come up. And in their profile, either will have follow or connect. If you see the connect button in blue, you can then click on that, and it'll give you an option to send a personal note. LinkedIn restricts personal notes per month with the free version. So to me, this is really the biggest reason to pay LinkedIn, so you can get more connections. Now, I think even the first step up from free, whatever the first step is, doesn't allow you to have too many profile connections. So you may need to go up to the second level to get more, but check if you need it. I think you can get 5 connections a month, if I'm not mistaken. You want to develop a daily routine. I would be on LinkedIn 15 to 20 minutes a day. And all you want to do is go and clear the red. I hit the home button, it clears that red button. I'll go down, I'll find 3 or 4 stories or people's postings that I want to like, share, or comment on. Then I'll click on my network for anybody who sent me a connection request, and I'll look at those and see and get those wiped out. Anybody who sent me a message, I will go look through the messaging next, and then I'll clear out the notifications and see what people have posted that I would be interested in. Just very important to sort of go through and follow through. Every day, like, share, or comment on 3 to 5 posts. Find something that somebody else has posted, and if you like it or comment, that's fine. If you comment, I've heard you need to have 9 or 11 words in your comment for it to count big time. Otherwise, it counts very small. And if you share a post, what you're doing is you're sharing it with your contacts, so they will see that contact. Curate or 1 to 2 articles a week. Post something once a week that tells somebody what you do. There's a website out there called feedly.com, Feedly. It's a great way to go, and if you're a project manager, or if you're in accounting, you can request stories about that topic, find a good one, and then post it and let other people know, because people will comment on who posts. And then be sure to follow company pages. If you want a job at AT&T, or you want a job at American Airlines or Southwest Airlines, follow the company page, because you'll then get in your networking, in your network messages, you'll start to see more posts from that company. Here's a real handy thing, and this works for LinkedIn, Google, Bing, any website you use, even Amazon, you can use it on. This is called a Boolean modifier. Capital AND, capital or, capital not, quotes. So the nice thing you can do about this is, if you see in the little box up there, it says recruiter and technology. So I'm looking for somebody on their profile that has the word recruiter, and somebody that has the word technology, but not somebody in quotes oil and gas. And oil and gas is in quotes because it's multiple words. I use this all the time when I'm at a national convention and somebody comes up and wants to connect, wants me to look at their profile, and I type in their name and 15 other people with the same name pop up, but I can put in their name and the name of the company that they're with, and their profile pops up immediately. So this is a great tool you can use. Any website will do a Boolean modifier. All right, sort of wrap up here a little bit. Check out Career DFW and CareerUSA.org. We've got a career tip of the week. We've got a calendar with events that are going on and coming up. If you want to join our email distribution list, you can scan this QR code and just send a blank email to CareerUSA, the + subscribe at groups.io. You won't be spam, but what you will get is the weekly email that we're putting out. If your organization's looking for a speaker, please feel free to reach out to me. I do these all the time. I really enjoy doing these kinds of things. So let me switch back over to our other presentation here. So here's my profile. You're welcome to link in with me. If you don't send me a message, I'm may or may not connect with you, just because I forget. I look at the names that are on the list today and I'll try to remember them. But if I don't recognize your name and you don't send a message, I will forget to do that. Next week, our speaker is going to be Terry Sullivan. He's going to talk about how to tell your key contacts and prospects who you are, what you do, and how you can tell. Terry has been running a company called BuzzPro. He's been training LinkedIn. He's been training LinkedIn people how to use it for years. The session will not be recorded, so if you want to watch Terry, you will need to watch him live next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. This Wednesday, the practice interview team is meeting in person. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you can come and join them and watch an interview. If you want to be scheduled, you can reach out to DallasPitCrew@gmail.com, send them a resume and a job description, and they will get you on the schedule. I know they're scheduled out. They're doing 3 interviews every Wednesday. They're in person the first, second, third, and fifth Wednesdays. And not this Wednesday, but a week from this Wednesday, they will be online and anybody will be able to watch them. For those people who are out of the DFW area or can't do this and you want to get some more interview experience, watch session 7 of 13. You can watch this online, discussing compensation and circumstances around leaving a previous position. You know, a lot of people will ask in an interview, why do you leave your last job? And if it for some odd reason, you're going to want to be prepared for that. So if you want to watch this session, just go to the careerusa.org website, look for Interview Wednesdays online, and click on that, open it up, and the link will be there so you can watch the presentation at your convenience off our website. This Friday at the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, Walt Glass will be with us. Many of you know Walt. He does the Interview Success Workshop where he does interviews helping candidates, and he's going to talk about the selling interview. How do you sell yourself interview? So this should be a really interesting presentation. Come join us Friday online, or you're welcome to join us in person this Friday at 9:30 in the morning. You're welcome to join the Career DFW or Career USA LinkedIn groups. I started each group when I started the website. We just crossed over 16,000 members in the Career DFW group. You do not need to live in Dallas-Fort Worth to be a part of that group, but you need to have a profile that's mostly complete. I look at most of the profiles and accept or deny them, and I only deny them because your profile is not complete. If you had people who try to join, they've got no work history posted. I don't know what they do. Their name is on there, and that's about it. And that's not going to help you find a job. You've got to have a complete profile because you want to tell somebody what it is you do and how you can help. This session has been recorded. It will be on the Career USA YouTube channel later this afternoon. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel. We have almost I'm thinking we just hit the 700 mark, 700 videos that are currently on there. You're welcome to join, watch any one you want. On the YouTube channel, just type in Career USA. You don't have to put in the .org, just Career USA. Click on playlist. Every video that I upload goes into one of 7 different playlists. And for LinkedIn, you can just click on View Full Playlist. And when you do that, you can go back and see all the videos, who taught them, and what their title was. So you can watch any of these at your convenience. Like I said before, if you're not receiving emails about our workshops, we just put out 1 email a week at this point. You can join the Career USA mailing list by scanning this QR code and just send a blank email, or you can create your own email, send it to Career USA, the + subscribe at groups.io, and we will get you added to the list. Please know, Career DFW, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We have no full or part-time employees. All of our speakers are volunteers. Everything I've done over the last 15 years, I think it's almost 16 years now, has just been to help you, the job seeker, land your next great opportunity. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Have a great Tuesday, and we hope to see you tomorrow or this Friday. Have a great week.
Thanks, Jeff. You too.